Hi! Welcome back to the Melanindragon channel. How are you all? Hello to all my dragons of the north, south, east, and west. But today we're talking about East Asia, specifically Japan. We're talking about anime today! God, I feel like I have not been able to talk about pretty big nerd stuff since New York Comic Con. As you can see, I have an entire collection of top tier pops that are clogging my apartment and making it more impossible to become a minimalist. But it's fine, it's fine. I'm never going to shy away from the fact that I love anime and it's like one of my favorite things in the entire world. And I wanted to kind of shoot my list out there. Without further ado, let's get started with my top 10 anime. Anime has been in my life for a long time. I've watched anime ever since I was in middle school. I started off with like introductory animes, which are also going to be my honorary mentions today. Dragon Ball Z, of course. Anyone has watched Dragon Ball Z. If you are even into or not into anime, you have watched Dragon Ball Z. It's the show. It's like the mecca of anime. We all saw it in Toonami. We all saw a man with black hair suddenly have yellow hair, and he was fucking up this little tumor of an alien. It's amazing how much this anime has affected my life. I've wanted to become strong, like, you know, a Saiyan, and that's one of my goals in life, is to look like a Saiyan. Another one, weirdly enough, is going to be Fooly Cooly. Fooly Cooly is like, it's the weirdest anime in the entire world. I mean, there's definitely weirder ones, but this one is specifically like, there's no plot or structure to really much of anything besides a simple story meets a super yokai robot destruction anime type story with one of the sickest soundtracks to ever hit the television screen. It's amazing. I've gone and seen it a couple times now, but I just remember being really young, staying up way past when I was supposed to be asleep and watching this show go on and just being like, what is this? And then seeing all of these beautiful scenes, illustrations, and this amazing background music that's going on. The final episode is utter insanity, and it's amazing. Moving on from that, those are kind of my introductory animes, and then from there I started watching the animes that truly started making impact on my life and just growing with me and how much I've loved them. With that, we are going to start from the bottom. So number 10 is going to be Samurai Champloo. I feel like this anime should be higher on this list, but I don't really have a purpose to because it's such a short anime. It's like 12 episodes long. It is one of the most beautiful animes I've ever watched in my life, and the soundtrack is on that same level of Fooly Cooly. It's like this hip-hop, Japanese mixture type soundtrack. The ending is my favorite song of all time. The story is very vast. The main characters are kind of insane in their own way, but also just kind of shows that insanity of the old like Edo period of China, where there was a lot of just mayhem because of samurai everywhere and the type of corruption and political fucked up shit that was happening at the time. So it's a good anime. I would say if you're going to try to get into like an introductory anime, choose that one because it's good. Okay, number 9 is Demon Slayer. Why do I say it's Demon Slayer? Demon Slayer is a wonderful story, and I love everything about it. If you notice, my first bottom of the list is some samurai-based stuff. I love samurais. I love swords, and I feel like Demon Slayer just hits all those things about Japanese culture, specifically the old one, and a mixture of that like mystic part of Japanese action that we get a lot in anime, and they just did it flawlessly. The fights are amazing, the illustration are amazing, the character development is amazing. I haven't started watching season 2 yet, but it's one of the most beautiful shows I've ever seen in my life. And honestly, in the like couple recent years of just good anime that's come out, Demon Slayer is on that list. 8, My Hero Academia. The most recent animes that have come out are definitely going to be lower on this list. They have been amazing and they've been great, but you know, when you're growing from like age, like I want to say like 13 is when I started watching a certain anime that will be later on this list, and to now, like from 13 to like 20, anime is amazing. 20 to where I am 25 now, anime is good, but it's not going to hit the same, and that's how My Hero Academia is. And main character Midoriya is amazing. I love him. I love all the characters that we're introduced to, and seeing all of their powers and how they develop and change throughout the time. Quarks has been one of the most unique like power concepts I've ever come across, but I would definitely say like it's not been like, you know, one of the top things I've looked at. Like I haven't watched the recent like series. I've read the manga and stuff like that, but I've just like kind of lagged behind just because not because I think it's bad. It's just not something I'm pressed to watch. I'm just gonna watch it when I'm able to binge it and stuff like that. It's just a really cool anime, honestly. And with that being said, we're gonna move on to number 7. It's gonna be Samurai 7. This anime is on Funimation, and I can't remember when I watched it. Samurai 7 is a story about this girl who has divination powers, and they're living in this kind of world where there's like samurais are kind of illegal, but they're overruled by this like mecha army political government Gundam looking type of stuff. And this girl goes on a mission to find like a group of samurai that will help like slay this empire and help save her village, because that's what she like divined. And she comes across these amazing samurai of all different types, and I think it's interesting because each samurai kind of has their own abilities and their own like specialities, and they also have their own like kind of direction what they want. None of them are just like, hey, yeah, I'm gonna go with it. So like one of the samurai ends up being like a villain at first, and then decides he's gonna join them because he just is kind of sick of being ruled over by people, and they're all insanely powerful. It's one of those short series. Again, it's like 12 episodes. And it's one of those weird animes that I always mention but some people don't know about. Number 6 is going to be Soul Eater. Soul Eater, it's amazing. I've read the entire manga. I love the manga, but that's another video for another time. I've loved the intro. I've loved the style of the show. Halloween is definitely one of my favorite holidays, and the entire show encompasses like this Halloween, like afterlife, like awesome action feel. And the style it's drawn in is really cool. It's never going to be like something you expect. It's always going to be something that's just incredibly different and not similar to most other animes, like how they follow a story. The characters Maka and Soul are awesome and relatable. They're super cool. I love any anime where we get a really kick-ass female protagonist, because they always are just awesome. They're always awesome to see them kind of develop in their powers. The power system is really cool because they have like people who turn into weapons and people who like master those weapons, and you have to sync with your partner in order for you to like get further. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's one of those animes I binged when I was a kid. Okay, moving on. Number 5, Mob Psycho. Oh my god, this is such a good anime. Mob Psycho is a beautiful anime. It's a beautiful anime. The main character's development is so special and sacred that I can't help but love it. Like I'm not even being biased here. It's one of the most visually spectacles that you'll ever see when you watch an anime. And there are a lot of really good animations, but this one, I don't know, it was just the art style is awesome. It's got that oldie type of vintage art style, like Kill la Kill, which is another honorable mention because I didn't like put it in this list. But the powers are really cool. It's like not everyone really has the power, but the people who do are like insanely powerful. Our main character just happens to be the most powerful one of all, but he doesn't like using his powers because he would like to he knows he can solve a lot of his issues by using his power to control people, but he won't because he's better than that, and his powers are directly linked to his emotions. So it's like him trying to find himself and become comfortable with himself and become accepting of himself, because those things are what's going to help promote him to a better life. It's amazing. It's just utter greatness. It's 10 out of 10 here. And I know it's not higher on the list because these other shows have just made such a mark on me, but it's up there because it's that good. Number 4, JoJo Bizarre Adventure. Oh my god, this anime is so good. I never wanted to become a JoJo person because like JoJo has like a very specific like fan base, and they are very into this show, and they're very weird about this show, and now I'm understanding why they are, because this show is freaking weird, but those are the things that make it amazing. The art style is utterly amazing. The artist behind JoJo has had a piece of their like character development design featured in the Louvre simply for how beautiful the anime. The art style is amazing. The stories are incredible. Each one is so dynamic, and that's definitely the one thing I like about JoJo, because JoJo, you can kind of really start it whenever you want to. If you wanted to start watching JoJo now and just watch the newest season, which is Stone Ocean, which just premiered on Netflix, you need to watch it. It's You can follow that and just enjoy the story and then watch the other seasons, because they're all different characters. They're all a different JoJo that we're like meeting and learning about and learning how their inception was, and seeing them just develop and go throughout the world. It's insane how in depth and interesting this show is. The power system is broken. Stands are some of the craziest powers I've ever seen in any anime. They completely outclass My Hero Academia's quirks and Demon Slayer's breathing system. They even kind of outclass Super Saiyans, I'm gonna be honest. Even though Super Saiyans, Goku seems like a limitless structure of just all encompassing power and just latent power. I don't know. Stands have such a unique thing where like the things that are basic about them just goes world beyond what you think they can do. You think because someone's capable of just like copying something, it's gonna be just that. It's just, oh, they can just copy anything. I mean, that is kind of broken in its own right, but like, what's that really gonna do? And then they twist it in ways that just is so insane and so interesting that you're just like, what the hell? It's always got you on the edge of your seat. It's always got you suspenseful, but it also has funny moments. It also has relatable moments. It also has characters that are just so amazing, and you end up freaking falling in love with them. Top 3. Number 3 is One Piece. I feel like One Piece should be number 1, but let me tell you why it's not. One Piece is not finished. It's just not finished. That's it. That's literally it. I remember in middle school, I would come home every single day and sit at the Mac we had at home and just watch One Piece. I was catching up on it. My brother got me into it. And I remember the first time I watched One Piece, it came on in Toonami. I was like, what is this? This looks stupid. I don't want to watch it. And now, it is by far one of my favorite things of this entire world. Like, One Piece is so expansive, so huge, but the story is just so good. It's so amazing that I don't really even have the proper words to describe it. Every single character is my favorite. I love the entirety of the Straw Hats. I love Luffy. I relate to Luffy so much. I just want to enjoy my life and see the world. And if someone really don't fuck with that, then all right, let's scrap. Like, Luffy overcomes so many obstacles with all his friends, and he helps them because he just genuinely wants to. And that, there's nothing more precious than that. And the fact that that story keeps getting played out over and over and over again, and I still love it, bruh. This show is amazing. If you are not watching it just because of how long it is, I mean, you binge show on Netflix, you binge a show on Disney Plus, you binge Loki and all the other stuff they put out. So I don't really see a reason why you can't just sit down and watch it just because you see that the episodes are like 1,080. Okay? Then get to it. Like, you got all the time in the world. We might be in a whole Panera Press for another year. It's worth it. I have nothing to say to you if you have a problem with that. I'm not going to go in more detail to it because I'm going to make another video about other topics involving anime and manga. So I will be going a little bit more in depth about One Piece, but it's number 3 for a reason. If one day it finishes, then it probably will take the top spot. But right now, if I watched One Piece right now, I'd still just be sitting there like, oh, I love this anime. But I consistently wonder what the hell is going to happen when it's finished. Number 2, Food Wars. Shokugeki no Soma. It's a marvel. It's a masterpiece. It's amazing. I love it. As a kid, I loved Chopped. I loved Food Network shows. I loved Iron Chef America. There was a time where I literally would race home just so I could watch the newest episodes of Iron Chef America. I love cooking shows. I'm still learning how to cook and learning to get comfortable in the kitchen, and I feel like these shows just help. Food Wars, it's amazing. It's just great. The color, I will definitely say this, and a lot of these animes are here because of this. Color means a lot to me. Today, the outside world is very gray because it's supposed to snow and everything, and that does affect my mood. So when I watch a show that just has this beautiful color palette every single episode and this beautiful shining way of showing off the food that they make, it just hits everything I needed to hit, and I never feel bad. I never feel upset after watching this show. The cooking in this anime is so in depth and so amazing. It makes me take a step back at all the things I do, because I'm just like, why don't I just try in the kitchen? I'll just try. You never know what flavor is going to come out of something. These kids sit here and cook sensationally. They cook thing after thing. Everyone has their niche. Everyone has their thing, and Yukihiro's thing is just about literally just trying his hardest. He will fail at something 500 times because it doesn't taste right, and he will come to the best possible conclusion, and the best dish will arrive on his plate, and it's amazing. There are some risque parts of the show, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gay, so most of it doesn't affect me, besides Shiki-senpai. But it's one of those shows that just makes me happy at all times, and I can always turn it on. I only recently turned it on to show my friend the show, and I already started binging it again. But there is a lot of fan service in the show. Fan service is kind of whenever an anime kind of shows, like, you know, a lot of titties, a lot of butts, like all this stuff. And, you know, I understand. I'm not really into all that stuff, but it's just like something about it just makes me. It's like it's literally an animated interpretation of a foodgasm. On to number 1. Fullmetal Alchemist. Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. I love them both. Like, I love them both. I could watch both those shows at any time. It doesn't matter. I love those this. It's also one of my favorite mangas, but I'm, again, making another video about that. But Edward Elric and Alphonse Elric, their story is beautiful. It's tragic. It's terrifying. It's politically insane. It's religiously insane. The show encompasses every aspect of the problem of society and humans in the world today. And I still am like, wow, like, what the hell? It's basically what would happen if you gave people, like, the power to make things. Like, you know, if we can make alchemy a little bit more than we do now. Like, the show revolves around Edward and Alphonse Elric, 2 brothers who have lost parts of their bodies. Edward lost his arm and his leg, and now he sports a fancy shiny metal leg and a metal arm, which is referred to as automail. And Alphonse lost his entire body, which now his soul just dwells within a walking piece of armor, which is one of the coolest armors I've ever seen in my entire life, and I honestly would love to go into battle as it. But these 2 brothers lose these things because they decided to test the laws of the world that they live in, which is alchemy. Alchemy is the powers of this universe where they can kind of create anything as long as what they're creating it with has equal value. It's kind of like they call it the law of equivalent exchange. And I've read this manga, I've watched this anime about 6 times in my life, and I probably will watch it a million times over. It talks about the horrors of war, the horrors that happen within the human heart, and really just a beautiful, heart-wrenching story about 2 brothers trying to undo a mistake that they did, and they deserve what they get back from that. So I appreciate every aspect of the story. The biggest thing I can definitely appreciate about the story is that everything feels like it's on equal grounds besides one character. Like, there's one omnipotent, like, evil boss you have to defeat, right? But then across, like, at a certain point, it's really like everyone's kind of on the same playing field of capabilities, and it's insane. There are these, like, overarching really powerful enemies, but they're not impossible to defeat, and the fact that they weren't made this thing so much more interesting to watch and to behold. I definitely said in the last thing about Food Wars that the color got me. This show is all about the suspense, and it's all about how much the story drives in, because there's a lot of mysteries when you start it, but then like as the mysteries unfold, it is always jaw-dropping, and it's always insane that this story could intertwine itself so much. It feels like every character you meet ends up becoming a significant part of the story at some point in time, and some of the characters won't make a significant impact until the end. Some make a significant impact in the middle. Some are just like characters that you're just like, wow, I should hate this character, but I can't, because I do the same shit, honestly. And it's a beautiful narrative about the complexities and horrors of the human race, but it also just kind of points out like what we could do to be better. And what we should value in the things that we have in front of me, no matter the things that we end up losing. So that's it. That's my list. That's all my top animes. Please comment, but I have not been getting comments in my recent videos, and I really want to hear what you guys think. I really want to know what you guys feel about this type of stuff, because I honestly love this type of content. And if you guys have any anime that you want to point out to me, please put them on the list. I binge anime on a daily basis. It's actually a bit of a productivity problem. So if you guys want to drop one below for me, I will binge it. I will even stream me binging it if you guys want to watch an anime with me. There's a lot of cool animes coming out in 2022, so this list could be completely changed by that time. Who knows? I might have to make an updated version of this. Unite to all my dragons out there. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a good time. I hope everyone's getting through the winter like I am. It's actually snowing right now. But beyond that, peace.